So far, we have only discussed about the screen element, okay? And within the screen element, we used different components. Now, I am going to further discuss the screen component only. This component is specific to screen flows, and it is important to understand what all features or what all flexibilities are available in the screen components. And that's why we are discussing all kind of components which are available by default, okay? And so to extend our discussion, I'm going to pull another screen component here, and this time, so far we have used components, okay? This time I'm going to use fields, okay? So I give it a label, teachers application form 1. I am building one UI which is very similar to the student UI, but this time I will not be using components, rather I will be using fields. So for that purpose, what I need to do first is to create an instance of my object. So for that, I click on this new resource, give one API name, teachers application form. Okay, now the data type is the record and the object is application form. Okay, you can create multiple you can create a collection also by clicking this checkbox as true, but right now I do not want a collection, I just want a single record, so I keep the checkbox as false and mark it done. Once I do that, I can see that all the fields which are available in this particular record variable, all the fields which are available in this object application form are available for selection under the field section. So what I want here is I want to build the component, right? So I will start with the first name. So I can pull the first name here, okay? Or let me do one thing. Before I jump to create it, let me add a section. So section I can add from the components. So we are using the mixture, and then I'm adding the first name, and then I'm adding the last name, or let's add the salutation, okay? And then I'm adding the first name, then I'm adding the middle name, and then last name. Okay, so I can set the width also, like let me split it into two. So see, now this time I am not creating student application form, so I can hide the header. I can hide the header, and under this section I can include the header which will say teachers personal information, right? And done. So another interesting point is to add this screen element to the screen flow. So what I want to do is when the flow starts, I would like to ask whether you would like to fill the form for the student or for the teacher, and based on the decision taken by the end user, I would like to proceed ahead. Okay, so what I need to do is first I need to add one more screen where I will ask users user type. I'll just give the name as user type. So user type, in the configure header I will say hide the header for now, and under the section, using section, I can add one header and give a label enrollment type. For enrollment type, I can select radio buttons, okay, and here in the label I will put in whether I will ask whether are you filling the form for student enrollment or teacher's position, okay. Here this I am making a mandatory field, and here with the radio button I am giving one choice as student with the label student value student, and next choice teacher with the label teacher and choice value teacher. Okay. Now, whatever is decided, whether student or teacher, based on that, I want to take the decision. I want to take the decision. One is to go for student form, and the other one student form or teachers form. Student or teacher. Let's write this. Student or teacher. Okay. The first outcome, I'm setting it as a student. Okay. And the default outcome, I'm setting it as teacher. Or let us set a new outcome for teacher as teacher. Okay. And this one, let's make it default outcome only. So this is how my decision looks like. In the student, I will check whether are you filling form for student enrollment equals student or not. Same way for teacher, I will write, are you filling form for student enrollment equals teacher. So now this is how my decision elements looks like. In the resource section, I am checking the value for are you filling for a student enrollment or for teacher position outcome, whether it is a student or it is a teacher, and based on that I have to take the decision. Okay, so if it is a student, in that case I have to go to this form, and if it is for teacher I have to go to this form. Fine, and let us connect it here as well, saving it. Now when I run this, it asks me what is the enrollment type. When I run this, it asks me what is the enrollment type, student or teacher. I select student. In that case, when I click on next, it takes me to the student form. If I go previous, and select teacher, then in that case, it takes me to teacher's form, right?